Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
And you're still sick.
But still sick.
You've been sick the entire
winter
2020 already. So sorry.
Well, I bridged the gap from 2019 to 2020.
So Steve is getting extra credit for playing sick this week.
That's right.
And without Steve, we wouldn't be having these episodes
That's
that
right.
we're shooting. So.
Write me for your free Ebola sticker.
So we'll be serving medicine here in just a minute.
That's right.
But we do the hop sampler on the show, on the audio episode, where we compare 3 different hop varieties, making a small batch of each. Mm-hmm. Well, I got an email from Chris McKenzie from brewublog.com, who's been on the show a couple of times, and he said, what about doing a malt sampler? And he suggested we do this hot steep method that I think is on the Brees website.
Yeah.
And we've sort of done a hop steep method before. But it didn't really taste like beer. It just kind of tasted like a malt beverage or a cereal.
Grain tea.
Grain tea. That's an
Postum.
Postum.
That's right.
Yeah, no, that's an excellent description of it. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to create a recipe like the hop sampler, which is a small batch done with extract. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to do it with all grain batches, so we could compare these base malts. The way they really taste in a beer. So on the first episode that's coming up is going to compare Golden Promise, which we're going to taste today.
Nice.
Maris Otter and Brees Pale Malt.
Great.
So we're only going to do one here. On the audio episode, you'll have to search or subscribe to Basic Brewing Radio to hear the upcoming audio episode. We'll actually compare all 3. So here's the process that I went through to make this beer. So I started off with 5 quarts or 4.7 liters of water at 164 degrees Fahrenheit or 73 C. And to that I added 2 pounds or 900 grams of the base malt. And I stirred that in, brew in a bag, and I steeped that, or I mashed that, at 152 degrees Fahrenheit, or 66.7 C, for 1 hour. And I did that in the oven, which I had preheated to the mash temperature. So after an hour, I collected my wort, and then I put 9 grams of French Schirselspalt at 1.7% alpha acid, and I boiled for 30 minutes.
Right.
After that boil, I chilled down in an ice bath, and I pitched 3 grams of Saf Ale US05. So does that make sense? Did I miss anything? Mm-hmm. Pretty simple. Made for a long brew day because I did the 1 hour mash rest on each of the recipes.
Right.
But I only did a 30-minute boil. So it's like 2.5 hours per batch, per 6-pack.
Yeah.
But I think that you'll like what turned out. So why don't we go ahead and now this it's only been in the bottle a few days, so it's not fully carbonated. Okay. In fact, it's pretty flat. But but I think that we can taste what it's all about. Yeah. Yeah, there's no fizz in that yet, but I didn't know when we were going to be able to get together and shoot again.
Okay.
So
that's got a little bit of a head.
Here we go. Cheers.
Okay.
Oh,
cheers.
By the way, a little background on Golden Promise. Mike Tonsmeyer posted a article from the New York Times that talked about these experiments or scientists back in the 60s that would irradiate seeds and shoot them with gamma rays and make mutant plants, and that's how Golden Promise was made.
Really?
It came out in 1967, and it was pelted by gamma rays, just like Bruce Banner, who turned into the Hulk. So
drink enough beer and you will turn into the Hulk.
So try it. Cheers. Let's try it
one more time. It's kind of an ode to Barbarella. Oh, Jesus. God.
Golden Promise smash.
Well,
those gamma rays are still working out.
Let's get Scarlett Johansson in here quick.
Give me a hand, will you? My sister gave this to me for Christmas like 2 years ago, and I knew it would come in handy one day. Anyway, the Golden Promise Smash. This is what this is. So, what do you think?
I think it's pretty good. I didn't gain any appendages. It's real nice. It's real grainy. I can taste the grain. And
it actually tastes like a beer.
Tastes like a beer.
And I think the bittering level, the 9 grams of the French Malt at 30 minutes is really good.
Yeah.
It's not too bitter, but it's not too malty. You know, it's nicely balanced, and I think that the malt comes
It's
through.
very nice. It does come through.
I'll be glad when it's carbonated. But
Yeah, I wish it was a little more carbonated, but it's nice. It's very nice. It'll be really fun to taste it when it's against the other two to have something to bounce it off of.
yeah,
But it tastes like a really nice pale ale. I really like it.
yeah,
It's good beer.
yeah. There's a sweetness in there that that obviously comes from the malt. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the original gravity of each of these was similar. On the Golden Promise, the original gravity was 1051. No, that's pre-boil, 1051. The original gravity was 1069.
Yeah.
And the final gravity was 1012 for an ABV of 7.6%. So it's pretty
I was going to say
big beer.
Yeah, it is strong.
Super easy to do, but it takes a while. But I think that it's a good way to get a good idea of the character of the malt, and I look forward to, as I said, comparing these side by side, and then going on to other base grains and specialty malts as well.
I do too. I'm really looking forward to this because it's harder to do because it's a more involved brew day, so there's a bigger investment in it. But I actually think it'll be really beneficial to us in particular, but also that we can push out, you know, what we gain from it to everybody else, and to encourage other people to do the same thing. It does take a day where you spend a day and you're not going to get a lot of beer out of it.
Right.
So, okay. But if you really are curious, this is how you find out.
Yeah.
And I think this is way better than the hot steeping. I think this is a lot better way.
I do too.
And so I'm looking forward to this whole series, and there's a lot of room to play.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of grain to work our way through.
I'm looking forward to it.
So,
All right. Well, thank you, Steve, for playing sick.
you're welcome. No, I didn't play sick. I played Shakespeare once in the Poconos. You should have seen me in Poughkeepsie.
All right. He's still got his wit, though. All right. We'll see you next time. Happy brewing, everybody.
Happy brewing.
Come and visit us online. At basicbrewing.com, you can find archive lists of our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs and our brewer's logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer. If you're in Fayetteville, Arkansas, stop by Steve's Brew Shop or find him online at stevesbrewshop.com. Oh, let's get the opener. Oh, yeah. Pardon my reach.